So the next example I want to show you is, let's keep going with that Sudoku example for a sec. Suppose I asked you the following. Suppose, remember that problem we just did with Sudoku? The answer was 9 factorial. It was 3, 6. I think I'm missing one. How many ways could you fill in this first row? And the answer was you could do 9 for the first one, 8 for the second, 7 for the next. It was 9 factorial. Here's a different question. How many ways could you fill in just the first 3 right here? Just those first 3 boxes. So it's a similar problem. I could do 9 for the first one. I could do 8 for the second. I could do 7 for the third. But that's all I want. I don't want to keep going. I don't want to go all the way down like we did for this other problem. So this number, 9 times 8 times 7, that's not 9 factorial. It's like we cut off the rest of it. So how do you do that in the calculator? How do you say, I want to cut it off after 3? And this is the formula that you use for that. This n means the total number of objects that we have to pick from. In our case, we have 9 digits. And r is how many you are picking. So another way of saying this problem is we have 9 digits and we are picking 3 of them. The p stands for permutation. Okay, because the order matters here. Obviously, if you're filling in a Sudoku, it matters whether I put, if I put 9, 3, and 4, that's a different Sudoku puzzle than if I did 4, 3, and 9. So the order, when we're dealing with permutations, the order is important. And we'll do an example later where it's not important. That's called a combination. So to get this in the calculator, 9 pick 3, which is just going to give you this number, 9 times 8 times 7, go to Math. This is for TI-80 type calculators. Hit Probability, and it will say NPR. Okay, and you actually, in order to do this, you have to first type in 9, then do this Math Prob NPR, and then the next number you hit is 3, and that should show up on your calculator. 9 pick 3, and it turns out to be 504 ways that I could fill in just those first 3. So I think of the P as standing for pick. Technically it stands for probability. Okay, this formula right here, if you're wondering where that comes from, n would be 9, and n minus r, well in our case r is 3, so 9 minus 3 would be 6. So if you expand this out, 9 factorial is this right here, times 5 times, I'm going to do all the rest, and in the bottom 6 factorial, 6 times 5 times 4, etc. But if you look at this here, the 6 times 5 here is going to cancel with that 6 times 5, etc. down there, and that will just leave you 9 times 8 times 7, which is what we did there. So you don't really have to know any of that, you just have to know how to put that in a calculator. So let's do an example here. We have, this page will ever load, it takes a while. How many ways can we form 4-digit codes in which no digit is repeated? Okay, 4-digit codes. You have, you have a code right here with 4 digits. How many options do you have for putting a digit in that first one? You have 10 options. Okay, how many in the second? Well, it says we can't repeat, so we only get to use 9 of the digits. We can go 0 through 9, but once we've used one of them in the first one, let's say I use an 8, well, now I have to change for this other one. How many options do I have for the next one? The third digit, I have 8. And then how many for the next? I have 7. Because remember, every time I use a digit, I have one less to choose from. So what's another way of saying this? It's not 10 factorial because we're not going all the way down times 6 times 5 times 4. We're stopping. So we're doing 10 digits, and we are picking how many? We're picking 4 of them. And if you put that in a calculator, I believe you would get 5,040 ways that you could form those codes of 4 digits.